What's going on, and welcome to the Sales Mastery lesson number one. And today we're going to talk about some of the basics. What is selling, right? What exactly is selling, and how can you use selling to better your life, right? To do things that are going to help you get to your goals, reach the things that you want to reach for, have the life that you want to have. How is selling going to help you do that? And so we're going to start here with our sales mastery secrets. So the first thing we're going to start off with is, why do we do what we do as human beings? When I was in college at Southern Utah University, I used to have a professor who had polio, and he came in and he had his walking things, that connected to his arms. And he came in and he was fascinated with this one question: why do we do what we do? And that drove his entire existence. Everything he did in life was to find answers to that one question. And it's really simple when you look at it, okay? Human beings do things for one of two reasons. Number one, to seek pleasure, or number two, to avoid pain. That is it. It ends there. We always do things because we're seeking pleasure or we're looking to avoid pain. Now, another way you can look at that is we do things to either increase our status or decrease. So let me say that another way. We do things that we perceive will increase our status, and we avoid things that we perceive will decrease our status. And when we talk about status, that's like our ranking amongst society, right? Our ranking amongst everyone else that we come in contact with. And so you can see here, people do things to avoid pain. People do things to seek pleasure, but pain is a much stronger motivator than pleasure. People would rather hold on and fight for their life to save their $10,000 to keep it from getting stolen away from them than they would to actually go out and try to earn that same $10,000, right? We are risk averse, right? So we want to avoid pain at all costs. Now, there's different levels to the brain, all right? We have the oldest part of the brain, which is the reptilian brain. Okay, that brain, all that wants to do is survive, right? Survive. And then we have our mammalian brain, right, which is our monkey brain, which our monkey brain just wants to explore and do and freaking bang and do all the stuff that mammals do, right? And then we have our prefrontal cortex, right? And our prefrontal cortex is our thinking brain, and that's where we get our logic. That's where we get our reasoning. That's why us as human beings are a superior intellectual species to the rest of the animal kingdom, right? And so the oldest part of the brain, the reptilian brain, immediately assesses everything for, is this a threat? Is this a friend? Can I bang it? Is this a threat? Is this a friend? Can I bang it? Right? That's pretty much what the reptilian brain is assessing instantly in every situation. And knowing that, if it's a threat, it automatically puts up the guard, right? Because our natural instinct is fight or flight. Okay. And if you haven't, I'm sure you're already familiar with fight or flight, but if you're not, fight or flight is basically our response anytime we see something that arises as a threat. Our natural instinct is to do one of two things: either stand there and, what's up? It's time to fight, or I got to go flight and take off, right? So it's one of those two things. Knowing that, okay, when you think about the selling process, when you think about the persuasion process, it's very simple. There's really 3 steps to it. Number one, you find a deep want or need that a person has, right? You find out what is the thing that they desire, not what they just want or not what they just need, because needs and wants, we don't always get everything that we need or we want, right? But when it's a desire, when it's a core desire, when we must have it, when it moves from like, yeah, that'd be cool, or that, yeah, I should probably do that, to I have no other choice, I must get this need fulfilled, right? When it moves to that, you got to find a deep desire within the person. Then bring the pain, baby. And when I say bring the pain, think about what we talked about. That reptilian brain, right, wants to do whatever it can to avoid pain, to avoid pain. And so we have to pile on the pain of what not working with us will do. Okay? And then the last step is we present our solution as a healer to their pain, as the pleasure of not having to deal with that pain. That is the sales process in its simplest, most basic state, right? And the other thing that sales is a transference of emotion. It's a transference of state. If I have conviction that this is the best course that you will ever take in your entire life, that conviction will move from me into you. It is powerful. And that is what selling is about. Selling is about the transference of emotion, finding a deep desire in your prospect's mind, bringing up the pain that not fulfilling that desire will cause, and then heal their pain with your solution. And I know what you're thinking. Oh man, I sell something boring. I sell this, I sell that. Blah, 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 blah. It's not going to work. What you're saying doesn't make sense. Bullshit. Bullshit. I don't care if you're selling. I used to sell boxes. Okay. I used to sell boxes and tape. I worked for a packaging company. I was an outside sales rep, and selling boxes and tape is about as unsexy an industry as you can be in, right? And then the thing is, I would go to clients and I used to think the same thing. How can I, have them seek pleasure and heal pain? Well, maybe their pain point isn't with the boxes and the tape. Maybe their pain point is with the relationship they have with their previous rep, right? Maybe their previous rep doesn't get back to them in time. Maybe they always need new stuff and their orders are time sensitive and they have to constantly get stuff and they need a rep that can keep up with their pace, right? Maybe they have things that they're limited on in terms of ideas, and you can help them provide a solution that can save their business a shitload of money, right? There are always ways to figure it out. The thing is, most people are not resourceful enough to dig in and find out how, right? And with that being said, I want to tell you about a quote from Robert Kiyosaki. If you don't know Robert Kiyosaki, he's the Rich Dad, Poor Dad guy. But he said a quote, and what he said is, Robert Kiyosaki said, you need to stop asking, or you need to stop saying, I can't do this, I can't do this, I won't be able to do that. And instead, you need to start asking how. How can I do this? How can I make this happen? How can I make this work? And when you transition how you speak to yourself, your self-talk, then you can transition what appears in the outside world, what kind of circumstances you are creating around you. So you need to start asking the question, how and why? Why will I be able to get this customer? Why will this customer switch over to me? Why will this customer let me heal their pain points? What is this customer's deepest desire, and how can I fit my product to solve it? Those are the questions you got to start asking yourself, because seek and you shall find, right? Whatever you pay attention to, that's where your brain will go, right? That's where your subconscious mind will start looking for. And so with that, understand this simple selling process. Step number one, find a deep desire, right? Something that a person has to have. Okay. Number two, create pain, build the pain, bring the pain, make them understand how not having it is going to really be painful to them, is going to hurt them. And number three, heal their pain with your solution. That's very simply the sales process. Now, there's a lot that goes into each step along the way to get to that point, right? But we're going to go through it step by step by step. With that, that's the end of lesson number 1, and I'll see you tomorrow in lesson number 2. Peace.